sun is out again with a lot of those clouds. It seems like some people are actually preparing with their umbrellas already. And what's going on today? How about this one? It looked kind of interesting with that picture. Apparently there was this drone, I guess, that appeared, and wow, it looks kind of neat, huh? It's not what you're used to seeing. It says mystery armed drone surfaces again, this time in Sudan. A peculiar military VTOL drone armed with two 120mm mortar rounds was recently shot down by the Sudanese armed forces. The type have been seen in several conflicts across the Middle East and Africa over the years. The unique drone was operated by the Sudanese paramilitary forces, the rapid support force in its fight in Sudan, before it was shot down earlier this week. The UAE is known to be supplying arms to both the RSF and the Sudanese army since 2014. These weapons reportedly include small arms, ammunition, drones, and armored vehicles. The UAE has also reportedly trained members of the RSF in the use of these weapons. It does look kind of futuristic. It almost reminds me of those vehicles in Star Wars, those AT-AT walkers. But if they carry all those weapons and stuff, then there's nothing, I guess, to joke about if you see it. And speaking of armed drones, this was kind of interesting where it sounded like, according to this, the US really wanted other countries to purchase, I guess, things like their military drones. This one says, US pushing India to seal armed drone buy when Modi visits. Ahead of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit to Washington, the Biden administration is pushing New Delhi to cut through its own red tape and advance a deal for dozens of United States-made armed drones. Two people familiar with the matter have told Reuters news agency. India has long expressed interest in buying large armed drones from the US, but bureaucratic stumbling blocks have hampered a deal for Sea Guardian drones, which could be worth $2 billion to $3 billion for years. US negotiators are counting on Modi's White House visit on June 22nd to seal the deal. Is it just one of those things where there's a lot of money to be made? It's kind of funny because it makes me think in these cases, people always wonder, how is it that these certain places, like these countries, they don't have the technology and all that? They have all these weapons to use for war and stuff like that. I guess this is the example, huh? Just countries selling weapons to one another, and then when there's a fight, people start blowing each other up. And then I read this, which was popping up in a lot of places. Here it says, popular gaming YouTuber Drome deletes face reveal video, saying here, I regretted the attention and hate. So apparently, from what I gather, this person creates Minecraft videos, has been doing it for a while, is really popular, and he made these videos wearing like this, I guess, smiley face mask. All these times people didn't know his identity, but I guess for whatever reason in recent times he decided to do a face reveal. Now you would think, I guess, in many cases, okay, whatever, it's just someone really feeling their face or playing a game and so forth, but the claim here is he's gotten a lot of backlash because of it. As to why he removed it in the first place, the mask, to my understanding, he's saying he was just kind of tired of having to hide his, I guess, face all the time. He wants to interact with people in a normal way, but I guess because, again, of the things like the backlash, he's putting it back on, and he says in his description here, I will slowly be deleting all pictures of me online and going back to just being a gamer in a mask. Starting with my Mr. Beast video and my face reveal video, hi, I'm Drome, I'll be walking it back. I'll be getting rid of everything other than my new mask. There's no way that's possible, I would say anyways. Once you put it out there, it's gonna be everywhere eventually. It says the same company that made the Spider-Man mask, Batman mask, and many other superheroes made me a mask so that I can be Drome all the time. Hide my identity, even if public, at McDonald's or any place I need to go. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart to those that supported me, even though I am ugly. I appreciate you all more than you could ever know, and I'll be working on my face while I'm masked again. That's terrible, isn't it? Although on the other side of the coin, some people who are skeptical are saying he is potentially doing this just for publicity, because ever since he did this, he's been collaborating with a lot of people and all that, and the fact that he didn't actually delete the video but just put it on private, that could be a scenario of saying, okay, he'll put it back up afterwards. Although, either way, it's kind of an interesting conversation piece and study, I guess you could say, because a lot of people are like that, unfortunately, where they prejudge people for certain things like looks and all that. I think one of the most famous example was that one where, has anyone seen that show Britain's Got Talent, where there was that singer Susan Boyle when she wasn't famous and stuff yet? because of her appearance, for example, she's overweight. When she went on stage, man, look at all the people in the audience just mocking her, immediately saying, no way, this is a failure. But then when she started to sing and so forth, then everyone changed their tune. This happens a lot too when it comes to things with appearances. It doesn't have to be just with looks too. Depending on the type of topic, people will stereotype, for example, oh, this person's too young, so no way I'm gonna take it seriously. They get really cynical, they try attacking people, or it could be the other way around, where if there's an old person, people will say, no way, like what, grandpa, grandma, this and that, you can do that. That's just the way society is in many ways, huh? So hopefully, I guess it's a lesson too for people not to prejudge all the time. I guess I thought about that. I personally just had so much life experience dealing with people like that, where they prejudge you in a prejudiced way because you don't conform to a certain, let's just say, stereotype. Or if you're debating against someone, like for, let's just say, drone regulations and stuff, actually, or a drone hater, funny enough, many times the people that come really aggressive at me, they have this prejudiced mindset actually, because they come in and say, oh, I'm gonna teach this kid, quote, a lesson. They don't come in with, I guess, with the facts and so forth. So once you start throwing it out there, they're realizing, hey, what's going on? This is not what I expected. I thought I'm gonna be debating, for example, like, I don't know, like a stupid kid or something like that. That's the mentality. And then usually when you throw the facts and all that, afterwards all they can say is like, I don't need to answer your questions, I'm better than you. And they're like, you know, just storm off or whatever. But it happens all the time. I would say we all tend to have this bias and prejudice just based on how we grew up and what we are taught. That's why I constantly like to learn new stuff, keep an open mind, because you never know, maybe the stuff you learn just isn't true, for example. Alright, see you guys later.